Okay, I just started the GoPro. Hello! And if you're watching this wondering, why is there a GoPro up there? Well, let me explain. So today we're rerunning a test and doing a lot more testing on feet, isolation feet from SPS versus spikes versus foam in all three modes, sealed, standard, and extended of the SPS PB4000. So the video I did a couple weeks ago was a subset of what I'm going to do today, and holy crap, did the critics come out of the woodwork saying everything from the results should have been the other way, to there shouldn't have been any results, to the testing method was flawed, to I must have changed settings in the receiver, I must have changed settings in the sub, I must have changed room position for the sub, yada yada yada. So this GoPro is up here purely as evidence, and that is going to be recording a very long, very boring video of this entire thing and all the work I'm going to do, so you can see what I'm doing is exactly what I'm saying I'm doing in this video here. So I'll put the link down below to that if anyone's really bored. You're going to watch the whole thing here today as I go through all the testing. So the first thing I'm going to do, and let me reiterate, I am simply, wrong way the joystick go, Brian, there you go. I am simply changing the feet, and for every iteration changing the mode of the subwoofer. That's it. The receiver is no longer even going to be touched. I just set its volume. I'm at, let me just verify here. Up one, I'm at negative 39. Sorry, you can't see that. I'm looking at too many screens here. I'm at negative 39 dB, and that is giving me 80 dB on my just subwoofer test tone here. Peak noise. So that's a real good level for REW. Basically anything between 75 and 85 dB gives a decent noise floor to signal ratio. So the receiver is now not going to be touched at all. The remote is sitting right here on the table, and that is where it's going to stay. I am not changing any settings in the sub other than making sure that when I unplug it and plug it, that I go back to a saved preset and I'm in the right mode. Wrong finger. Come on. There we go. All right, so number one, this is the only thing plugged in. The speakers are physically unplugged. Come on, gimbal. It does not like fast movements of my hand sometimes. That's what she said. Both speakers are physically unplugged, and the other subwoofer is turned off. I have a PC4000 over here, and incidentally, after I'm done with this video, I will be doing very similar tests. I'll just unplug it just to be sure. And we're completely detached of all other sound other than that one subwoofer. I will be doing another video of feet versus spikes for not only my mains, but my PC4000. And my theory is I'm going to see no results, unlike the PB4000, on the cylinder, because this is a bottom loaded and the driver's firing up and down. There's no movement even with the feet. So I don't think it's going to make a difference. And speakers, I'm curious about. I don't know what I'm going to see with those. Right now they have the big factory rubber feet on them, and underneath are very high quality spikes. So I bought some spike discs to protect my floor, and I can very quickly swap those in and out and just see what happens. I have no idea. But today is all about the sub. So I'm going to be running REW. I'm going to be doing test sweeps, and I'm going to show you on the video here you're watching exactly what the results are. You're not going to sit here and watch me work. That's what the GoPro feed is for. And then we're going to look at all the charts. We're going to look at the levels. We're going to look at the waterfalls. And I'll show you a distortion graph, but I am not expert enough to tell you what that is going to be. But I've had people ask for it. So I'm trying to give everybody what they wanted. And I'm also going to do a couple different measurement points. I've got it here at my listening position. It's actually a little low. Hang on. Not completely set up here. There we go. That's about where my ears end up, just below the top. I'm going to be measuring primarily here, but also over here, right behind my computer position, because this door seam between these two panels, depending on the movie, is a real nuisance rattle point. And it makes a difference when I switch modes. So this will be interesting if something winds up rattling here. And I had a request to measure at one of my rattle points. So this is a point where I can easily bring the mic over here. Other points in the room that do the same thing are way over here, stuff on this shelf, and stuff in the kitchen, including this cabinet and stuff down here. But my mic cord won't reach over there, but it will reach over there. So we'll be able to tell what, if anything, feet are doing. Okay, a couple other important things. My floor is hardwood bamboo directly on concrete. It has zero movement in any direction. It is solid as freaking bedrock. There's zero resonance, there's nothing underneath it. There's no cushioning material. It's not floating. It's just solid, all right? So that's just data. This test results will be different in your room. This is just for my room. Okay, that's all I can think of right now. I'm going to start. Oh, I'm using furniture sliders just to pull the sub in and out. You'll see me on the GoPro feed if you watch it, take them in and out. So the tests will not be run with those, but that's so I can physically pull this thing in and out, because I need to flip it and unscrew stuff and yada, yada, yada. And it is going to be a major pain in the ass getting those things in and out with the spikes and discs. But hey, and I just have to preface this with saying I normally run this room with both subs in sealed mode, and I freaking love it. The results are fantastic. So I'm hoping I don't have to switch and recalibrate and retune. So let's just see what happens. I'm going to start here in standard mode, and I'm going to pull the furniture sliders out. Our first test will... And I have a puppy helper again who's learning to type and watch his TV. And is a very smart puppy and getting too smart for her own good. Yes, you are. I don't need a puppy helper. Thank you, though. Stop that. Okay. As I was saying, I'm going to start in standard mode. I'm going to pull the furniture sliders out. The SVS feet, the isolation feet, are in. Now, I am not claiming, that's just the name of them. I am not claiming they isolate anything from anything. I have no idea what they actually do. There's no data on the SVS website for what they actually do. None. There's just marketing stuff. So I am not an advocate for them. I've been running them since I got this sub, but I couldn't tell you exactly what they do. I'm just going to show you the data. Let's go. Go outside. Good girl. Go outside, take a piggy. Okay. visually trying to work. Let's see. Very cute. Where's Buddy Bear? Oh, what a Buddy Bear. You're not helping. Okay, first round of results are in, and they are to Lover. I need that. You're not puppy toys. Give me that back. This is why everything takes 10 times as long. As I was saying, first results are in. The blue is sealed, green is extended, red is standard. Now I get to pull this beast out, and we're going to put in these spikes. These are some new spikes I bought just for this video, and they screw in and they're leveling. And then you put these discs underneath so you don't ruin your floor. The spike just sits right down there in the cup, so that should work out really nicely. Just going to be a complete pain in the ass to move because these are bare metal. Even though it spreads out the surface area, but this would immediately damage the floor just simply setting it on the floor. This will at least allow you to have something sitting on the floor, but you still don't want to scrape it. So it'll be this, then a furniture slider, and then I got to slide the furniture slider out and slide the disc back underneath the spike carefully. Fun, fun. This is what I'm not looking forward to. Make sure the GoPro's still recording before I go any further. Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, that sucks. I think so. Move your butt. Over. I have to work there, baby. Over there. No, go over there. Beat it. Watch out. Get out of here. Over. Here. Sit on this mic. This one. Ooh. Yeah, there you go. she's heavy. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Son of a bitch. All right, so plan B. I was not aware of this, obviously, but the spikes I ordered are a different thread, much larger, than the screws for the SVS feet. I did not know there were more than one standard. Looking at my speakers, these fit these larger holes. I didn't know the sub used smaller screws. So what I can do instead, since I can't do the spikes, is do like I did for the first test. I'm going to block it up. So I'm going to go find something suitable right now to give a solid direct to floor. Oh, you know what? I still have these original SVS solid rubber feet. I'm just going to take these off and we're going to go direct on the floor. Oh, you know what? I don't like that either. Just in case the floor isn't perfectly level, you might have some kind of resonance. I think it's the same for the veneer. I was wondering where it was. Yeah, I wanted to find something to block it up. What I did last time was use some cans, and that actually worked out well, so I think I'm just going to do that again. That just raised it up barely higher than the rubber feet. So, yeah, I guess I will do that. First, while I have the feet off though, we're going to test foam. I had requests to do exercise mat and packing foam here. This is what the type the sub comes packed in. So some people said, see how this does. So we'll just lay it on top of that and give it a test. Why not? It's here. Clover, no. Shit. Clover, stop. Don't eat that. Hey. Go play. Get out of there. Clover. You're being a real puppy pest. Yes, you are. Get out of there. Over. Go on, go play. No. Okay, the tests are run. Big block of foam just sitting under there. Interesting results. The standard and extended, virtually identical. The green and the what looks like a purple line are all four of those runs. You can see that they're almost exactly the same. The blue and the orange, however, are sealed mode. The orange is with the foam, the blue is with the feet. So again, sealed mode had a dramatic departure. Now, someone had asked what my theory was about why there's even a difference. My theory is the feet, here they are pretty gelatinous. All right, they're not solid rubber. They're not like the stock rubber feet here that come with the sub. This doesn't move. This is just a solid piece of rubber like a tire. So it's not going to hurt your floor, but it doesn't deform at all. These guys do. They're super squishy. I'm not squeezing that hard. They're like big soft donuts, right? So when your sub is sitting on them, whoa! Oh, okay, almost cracked my ceramic there. As I was saying, when your sub is sitting on them, it squishes a little bit, so it does help with leveling if you have a slight deformity, but for the most part, it allows it to move like this. And I'll show it once I put these back on. Wilbur, do not eat that. Okay. I'll show it once I put them back on, but you can move the sub with your hand. I mean, half an inch, in all directions. It just wobbles like this. Because they're so squishy, and they're so gelatinous. So my theory is, in sealed mode, there's the most resistance because there's no air coming through the ports to the driver moving. So that driver, under extreme excursion, in ported mode like this, moves freely. The air escapes, goes back and forth, it breathes through the ports, and the cabinet is relatively inert. It's just sitting there as a conduit for this air going back and forth. But when you plug them up into sealed mode, all of a sudden that driver is still pumping the same amount of air, but that air is being pressurized and released inside. So there's different waves going on inside the cabinet. It's not moving the air in and out. And the inertia of the driver itself moving back and forth obviously affects the cabinet, more so than it does in ported mode. And I think that's enough, combined with the movement allowed with these feet on, to move the cabinet at extreme excursion at very low frequencies. I think the whole sub is doing this. And I'll verify that by simply touching it, and I can tell you that yes, it vibrates. And if you put your hand on the floor, no, it's not. So there is some movement there. I tried to rig up something so you guys could see. I had this little contraption here of tape and a spring and a little post-it note. It doesn't show up. It's so small and so fast. I don't have a way to show you visually on camera. You know, I was trying to rig up something so you could see the cabinet moving. But yes, it moves in sealed mode with the feet on. So that's my theory, and that's also my theory about why I'm not going to see any difference on the PC4000, because the driver's moving up and down, and that motion that the feet allow won't come into play at all. So we'll see. Anyway, that's foam done. Now I'm going to pull it back out. Should be easier to come out, I hope. And I need to find a rigid mount again. Okay, this will take care of the Rigid Duty, 3 of my lawnmower batteries, which are solid as a rock, very steady, solid, and totally flat on top and bottom. They're all the same size, so I'll just stick those under and kind of make a tripod, get it rigidly mounted, and that will suffice for removing all movement and vibration out of the equation. The GoPro's still recording. It is good. Where the hell my pads go? Can I help you? You're not helping. You're not helping. No, you're not. Squish me. Squish me. Now it is rigidly mounted, solid as a rock, just like it's laying on the floor. Zero movement in any direction. Let's test again. Sure we're still it. Yep. Okay. Standard. Here's me a butterball. Oh, big butterball. Oop, I forgot to switch. Delete that run. Tired? Want you go take a nap? Very interesting. All right, very interesting results again. The big change this time was between the first test a couple weeks ago and today. This overlay between sealed modes, the purple and the blue, are virtually identical. So in this case, it made no difference. The only variable, I can't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning or not. If you saw my last video, you already knew, but this is a brand new driver. Turned out the previous driver during the previous test was blown, and I didn't know if it would have affected the test or not. It was only giving a little tapping noise at extreme excursion, not even the volume levels that this test is being run at. But it is a distinct possibility that it indeed did taint the results. Because looking at this, I am in full agreement with Ethan Weiner, who called me out and said, you know what, your test is flawed, buddy. And looking at this result, I'm totally agreeing with you, because those lines don't lie. There is your feet versus rigid, and they're virtually identical, those purple and blue ones. Okay, so the only variation then was the sealed mode between foam and everything else, that weird orange line. The other stuff, that's just minor differences. You can see they all pretty much line up, just that one outlier. So maybe there was just a ton of movement on that foam or something. Not that anyone is probably doing that. Okay, well, Oh, I want to test, just for shits and giggles, not that I think I'm gonna, wrong way gimbal, not that I think I'm gonna see much, but I'm gonna close this door wall now and just do a quick test here between rigid and feet. I'll just drop it back down onto the feet, put the mic right here around this area. Since at extreme volume with some movies, this rattles. We'll just see if anything changes. I doubt we're gonna see anything. That's pretty weird. Damn. I hate being wrong, Ethan. But I'm glad I was wrong. Because I hate not knowing, too. All right, let's test this out. Sealed. Wait. Yeah. Door rigid. Sealed. Losing my mind. Switching the feet, not the mode. Right. And here we have the results. The red line is rigid, green is on the feet. This is at the door wall. So again, virtually identical, very minor differences. Comes and goes, nothing obvious. So I can't tell you why it makes a difference, but it's like an on-off switch. There are some things that rattle that just do and don't. At least with the previous sub. I don't know if this had the bad driver since I got it, because I only found it in preparation for this video doing a sine wave test. I didn't hear that at all playing movies or music. So this was an outlet sub. It was used. So I don't know what was done to it previous to me getting it. That's all I can say. But yeah, it sure looks like when you have a good driver, the feet aren't doing much of anything. But I will say that it's a lot easier to be able to move it using those feet and furniture sliders. With these stock little nub feet, I can't get my fingers underneath it to lift it. You can see how shallow they are, so you just get this little lip. But with the big feet, you can get your whole hand under it and tip it up, no problem. Minor point, certainly not worth spending money on, but there you go. So if anybody else wants to test their room, I encourage you to do so. See ya.